in your career, your professional debut. What's going through your head in these moments?
Safe to say that the last 48 hours have been incredibly chaotic, but I'm enjoying every single moment. Everyone's been treating me so well, and they've guided me through the ropes of professional golf a little bit. And I've just been really thankful to be out here, be on this platform, and this is something that I've dreamed of ever since I was a little girl. So I'm here now, and it's been incredible.
When you were thinking about making your professional debut, which I'm sure has been on your mind, why the Mizuho Americas Open? What called you to make your debut at this event?
There were so many reasons. First of all, from the timing. After NCAA's last week, I was able to just figure things out a little bit in terms of my schedule and what I wanted to do going forward after my sophomore year at Stanford. And the Mizuho was a perfect place for me to kind of start out my professional debut. But at the same time, it's such a special event. And this is the first time I think that the AJGA and the LPGA are together playing the same course. And being at Liberty National, there's a lot of history here. So there were so many factors that really allowed me to want to come out here and start out my pro debut.
Have to ask, was Michelle Wee West one of those factors? She was in here talking, said some very nice things about you. What's your relationship like with her, and did that have any influence on your decision to play this week?
100%. Michelle, her being a Stanford alum, she's kind of talked to me before. She's been a great mentor for me and a good role model about what to do, what she did in her professional career, as well as being at Stanford. She was actually one of the main influences for me to turn professional while going to school at Stanford. So in the following years, I'll still be at school finishing my degree, and she played a huge part in helping me with that decision just because she's done it before, and she said, you can definitely do it. So that gave me the confidence to try it and see what it would bring forth for me. But Michelle is just incredible. She's been an incredible name for the game of golf, for women's golf, and she's just an exciting person to be around. So we definitely have bonded a little bit in previous events, and I couldn't be more thankful to have kind of her guidance in things.
Amazing. I'd love to open it up to the room and the Zoom now for those who have questions in here.
Rose, we were just kind of joking about Greyhawk before you stood up there. I mean, you've conquered some really tough golf courses, obviously playing super well at Augusta National and winning that event, and then playing so well at Greyhawk the last 2 years. Does any of those experiences at those big name golf courses really prepare you for a week like this?
Certainly. Those are one of the biggest stages that you're going to be playing at on a collegiate level and an amateur level. So there was a lot of media at Augusta. There were a lot of media at NCAA's. And that kind of prepped me for what I need to work on, what I need to do or balance things out when I'm playing golf, as well as doing media. So being here at a professional level now, there's certainly a lot of factors that are very similar to what I experienced those 2 weeks, and it allows me to balance my schedule a little more, balance my mind a little more before I go out and play. But those events were incredible, such unique experiences that I'll never get to probably experience again because they're just such special events that I could just learn and grow with people that I love.
How much do you look up to a player like Michelle? Obviously, a big factor of you being here, but how much do you look up to her and really want to emulate her as you go on this journey?
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of people, every single person is different. She's got different career paths as I do. So in terms of emulation, I don't really think about it as that, but she's got such a similar path or experience to what I have right now. She turned pro at a very early age, and she's at Stanford. She was able to finish her degree while being on the pro level. So I think for her, she is a living image of something that I want to try to pursue. And if she's done it, it gives me the confidence to really keep going and pursue what I want to do in the future as well.
This is the first big transitional period you've had since you started playing college golf. Has your idea of how you want to impact the game evolved since you've matured?
Has it evolved?
Yeah.
It's crazy because growing up, I really had a very simple mindset. It was playing junior events simply just to play in it and simply having fun. And then I went on to try to figure out what colleges I wanted to go to, started talking to college coaches, played for Coach Walker, and from then on, in college, I didn't really think much as well. It was more of try to play for my team, try to play the best that I can, grow in my independence, grow as a person in college, meet new people. But now I kind of jumped to professional golf, and I feel like right now the mindset is also very simple. It's try to adjust as much as possible to tour life and figure out what it means to be a professional, what I want to do out here. And I feel like I have a lot of time to experiment what I want to do. So that's kind of the mindset that I have going throughout my career and even going forward.
Just as a follow-up, I know you really do embrace keeping it simple. I mean, what's this turnaround been like in the past week, going from NCAAs to here?
Yeah, after I was done with semis, the walk back from 18 with my teammates was bittersweet, but actually one of the most memorable moments that I could have in my college career. Everyone was embracing each other. We were all laughing, having jokes, and following that day, it was my birthday, so we went back and had a good time celebrating. We all had a little dinner together, and then I spent 2 days trying to make up exams, make up quizzes, turn in essays, turn in a piece set, and it was just ongoing. And then the next day on Saturday, I flew out here. So I didn't really have any breathing room. And on top of that, I was announcing my professional announcement. So it was certainly one of the most chaotic weeks I've ever had, and that says a lot, including the fact that I played ANWA and NCAAs with everything happening.
Just a simple one. How did you know it was time to turn professional? What factors went into that?
Yeah, that's a very difficult question because I was trying to figure out that timeline as well. Beginning my college career, I told Coach Walker that I do want to pursue professional golf in the future, but I didn't know whether or not it would be after 4 years, during my college career, and whatnot. So when I started, but one thing's for sure, I wanted to finish my degree. And the second factor was I wanted to see how well I played in college golf, because I believe that if you're not able to conquer one stage, then you won't be able to go on to the next one and say that it's time for the next step. So I wanted to see how I fared in college golf, and turned out well. So that's why I tried pursuing it. I thought, okay, now I can see where the trend is going. I see that I have potential going to the next stage. Therefore, I think it's time to make a plan. And first year of college, didn't think about it at all. I was like, okay, just finish college, finish the first year, figure out what you are as a person. And then going into sophomore year, there was a little bit more talk. But I honestly just felt like I'll take the first fall quarter steady and see what that decision may imply, see what kind of routes that I can take if I do decide to turn. And then I've had great support people around me who have played huge factors. My family, my agents, my coaches, all of them have put their input in me, and I've taken their considerations and their logic of things very seriously. And from there, I ultimately wanted to make a decision that would work out well for me. So I think just following throughout sophomore year, battling the decision here and there, but made out to be a very good one. I felt like it was time for the next stage. Regardless of what happens on the professional level, I'll still be at school and finishing out. So I think the logistics part of being able to go to school while being a professional also played a huge role in me deciding to turn pro.
When do you hope to graduate with that in mind?
No idea. Stanford's not exactly an easy place for academics. I've tried to take it a little more relatively chill. I would like to take classes in the fall. Winter's kind of our off season, I guess, in golf, so I'll be able to take more classes there, and then spring quarter is kind of a speed run, so I'll just take a leave of absence and continue that route until I graduate.
And just one more, you've done so well winning when you had all the expectations on you and you were supposed to win. How do you do that? Like, how do you overcome overwhelming moments when you have so much pressure, or do you feel that?
Well, I'm human, so I certainly do feel it. And even though out on the golf course I'm very calm, composed, I do think that there is an element of composure just because I have a good faith and mindset in the back of my head, and I have a fundamental core that allows me to just keep going and not think about other people's expectations. Growing up, my family and the people around me have given me high expectations for what I should do as a person, not just as a competitor or as a golf player. So I kind of fall back towards those morals and who I am as an individual. And that allows me to go out there on the golf course and think, okay, today's another round of golf. I'm going to need to do what I need to do on the golf course, but if it doesn't work out, I still have a lot of things going for me in actual life. So with that in mind, a lot of people do expect me to play well. They expect me to win. And if I do win, they're like, oh, she was supposed to. But I would say, I take it as a compliment. They think that I have the ability to go out there and win every single time. So, might as well just try and see if I can live up to those expectations. But those expectations aren't the biggest things on my mind. I have people around me who really keep me grounded there.
Thank you.
All right. I do have one on the Zoom. Kent, can you go ahead and unmute yourself while we pass the mic around the media center?
Rose, what was the process like to put your schedule together for the starts you have on tour this year?
The process. Well, that I had a lot of conversation with my agent, Kevin, and we've tried to figure out what would work best for me, especially with me not understanding what tour life really is like. You're living day in, day out on the golf course, you're traveling, and that's a huge part of just playing professional golf is the aspects that are not golf related. And so I was trying to figure out what events would even accept me as a player. And thankfully, I had a couple of sponsor exemptions lined up for me, and Kevin has done amazing with Excel, just giving me places to play. And I was able to rack up 8 starts in total, which was super, super nice for me to just have a summer that I can just full on play and experience. And then I'll be playing 4 majors as well, so that's honestly a super exciting experience to have for this summer.
What are you hoping to accomplish over the starts that you have this year?
I don't really have any expectations in terms of performance. It's more of understanding what I need to do as a professional, how to take care of myself, how to take care of my golf game, seeing what works well for me when I transition over to every single event that I'm playing in. Because I think the LPGA Tour, the struggles that a player has mostly pertains to the lifestyle and the entire dynamic of playing golf as a career rather than just a hobby. So I think I'll be figuring out what time management really is and how that would fare well with me.
Thanks, Rose.
We have one right here to my right.
Hey, Rose. I'm curious. Tiger Woods was in a similar position to you, probably 30 years ago now, almost, which is crazy to think. You're now represented by the same agency. Have you had any discussions with Tiger? Has he given you any advice in terms of how to handle the coming weeks and months as you kind of acclimate to life on tour?
I've never had any explicit advice from him, but I would say his presence itself honestly says a lot. He's accomplished way more than any golfer in this generation, and I think him as a role model for the game of golf, what he did to modernize the entire sport is truly amazing. So I never really had any conversation with him, but he did text Coach Walker here and there and was like, "Oh, congrats to Rose," and it just kind of shows that I'm on the right track if he's able to keep up to tabs with somewhat of what I'm doing.
So you two have never met?
We've met twice, and it was all shaking hands and then taking a pic. That's it.
Second question, I read recently, you sort of said that you feel like the players out here don't know who you are. It feels like everybody in the golf world now knows who you are. Do you still feel that way when you're out walking the range or just out kind of mingling with players?
It's actually incredible to see. I don't know if it has anything to do with just the AJGA, but I came out here on Sunday afternoon, and I saw so many of my friends that I grew up with from junior golf. I saw Lucy, I saw Mega, my teammate, and saw Alexa Pano. It's just all these people that I grew up with, I just immediately saw them, and it's been a really relieving moment, I guess, because everyone on tour is kind of the people that I've played junior golf with. And I don't know. I think that now I don't know if everyone knows me still, but I think that, somewhat I have people who are familiar faces to me, and I'll be able to kind of grow alongside them and also just catch up with them.
We have another
What's the
here.
hardest class you took at Stanford?
CS 106A, currently and still trying to grind in that class. It's been a little unfortunate for me. I'm not a CS major. We'll never code again after this class, but it's weird because I'm a communications major, yet every single person around me are either STEM majors or CS majors. So I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
Rose, congratulations on all your success at the junior, amateur, and collegiate level. It's been an absolute joy watching you develop as a player and a person. You've gone from mentee to mentor overnight. What advice would you give the girls here playing this week?
It's so crazy to think that, I played AJGA 2 years ago, and now I'm here playing in the same event, but as a professional. I would say even the girls now, like I know a lot of them, and they're competing in this tournament as an AJGA Invitational. I would just say, you all know what you are doing. I'm just enjoy every single moment. Junior golf is really where you get to have those deep friendships from across the nation. And it's a little bit different from collegiate golf because you're always a part of a team in college golf. But when you're in junior golf, you get to meet so many different people from different nations and different states. Just enjoy every single moment you have with them. There's so many AJJ activities after the rounds where you can bond and grow together as friends. So really just taking in every single moment and understanding that this dynamic isn't the actual real world is something that I would want them to take away. And also playing at Liberty National, they'll be able to play this course alongside so many of the LPGA pros. So you'll be able to test your games against the best in the world. And that's kind of how I grew and wanted to become an LPGA player, was just being able to have these experiences and play alongside them. So take in every moment.
All right. If that's all the questions in the room, I'll close off with this. Now that you're a pro, about to make your first start on the LPGA as a pro, is LPGA membership a goal of yours, and is that at the top of your mind at all?
Certainly. I feel like as a professional player, it'd be a dream to be on the LPGA Tour, play on the weekly, and travel alongside all these best players. I don't know if just getting the LPGA membership is forefront on my mind, because I still have a lot of events coming up that require my full attention. But certainly after all these events, I would hope to think that I'll have an opportunity to get that LPGA membership. But it's what a female golfer always dreams of, playing on the LPGA.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Rose.